What is DeFi? Well, it stands for decentralized finance. In the past, we have always used centralized finance, which is where there's a central authority that controls the flow of money. The government and the banks control it. They don't really say they do, but they do. They can print more of it if they want to. They can stop you from borrowing it if they don't want you to. They can even stop you from having a bank account. If they wanted to, at any time, they could have your money. They have your money, so they could change it, and you really couldn't argue against it. I mean, you could, but how would you prove it? You gave your money to them. It was based on trust. Also, if you're running a business, they limit what you can do. For example, right now, if you have a little magical tree business that may be for medicinal purposes, they can tell you not to bring in any of that money from the business to the bank, which seriously limits you. It means you can't deposit it or invest it or even use them to keep it safe. One more thing, traditional finance is quite expensive. Payday loans go up to 500%, credit cards can average 25%, and even personal loans can cost you 18% of your value. These are really high rates, but you pay them if you need to, because that's what you got. The alternative is decentralized finance, where there are no banks. Instead, there are pieces of code that run and act as a bank. They're open to anyone. They don't require you to trust them because they're literally a piece of code running a program. If you wanted to, you could read through it and verify that it's not going to scam you. They are also censorship resistant, and lastly, they are much cheaper than traditional centralized finance. Decentralized finance is built on three main things: cryptography, the blockchain technology, and smart contracts. If you don't know what these are, we highly recommend that you check out our other videos on these topics, where we break these topics down so simply using stories and examples and analogies that even your grandfather could understand them. Now, this is going to be a bit of a longer video, but it's a very broad and growing topic. Anyways, assuming you understand the cryptography, the blockchain, and how smart contracts work, let's dive into the 5 pillars of decentralized finance. Number 1, stablecoins. So first off, we need to understand the bridge of decentralized finance to centralized finance, and that is cryptocurrency that is matched to a real-world asset. For example, DAI, Tether, and USD coin are all what we call stablecoins. This is because their price is tied to the United States dollar. Think about it like this: when you buy one for $1, a new USD coin is minted. When you withdraw one, a USD coin is burned. So the coin is always worth one United States dollar. Now, the purpose of this is to have a reliable way to buy and sell certain coins without having to buy and sell them. Instead, we can just trade them. Here's an example of why this might be beneficial. Let's say you bought one Ethereum at $500. Well, now it's $1,000, and you want to sell because you think it's high. You want to take your profits. Without stable coins, you have to sell your Ethereum at a centralized exchange like Coinbase or Binance, and in return, they will give you some United States dollars for it. Now, of course, they're going to take a cut of that transaction because they want a fee, and they're going to take it. Also, the IRS makes you pay tax on any gains that you make from trading or selling. Coinbase and Gemini will be snitching that you made it, so you can't really get around it. The next step would be to wait for Coinbase or Binance to give them to your bank, and then withdraw them from your bank, because you don't really want the bank controlling your money. Well, a month later, Ethereum drops to $250, and you want to buy more, so you deposit your $1,000 back into Coinbase, wait a few days for the transaction to clear, because you have to wait, and then buy 4 Ethereum and hold them. Well, Ethereum rises again to $500 and you decide to sell. So you sell them at your centralized exchange. You bite the fee, and then you wait a few more days for it to hit your bank account. See, in this example, there's a lot of fees, there's taxes, and there's waiting. Now, let's say we utilized a stablecoin like USDC. You bought 1 Ethereum at $500 and it raises to $1,000. Instead of going through all that headache, you trade your 1 Ethereum for 1,000 USDC, and you just hold it. A month later, similar to the previous example, it drops to $250, and you trade your 1,000 USDC for 4 Ethereum. Then it raises to $500, and here's the beneficial part. Within 5 minutes, you sell your 4 Ethereum for $2,000. The fees were less than 1% because you used what we call a decentralized exchange to trade, which is something we'll explain later. But because of it, you were able to trade almost instantly. Plus, the USDC was secure, and you trusted it because it's just code. It doesn't change. Unlike Coinbase or Binance or Gemini, Gemini, which are controlled by the government and, more importantly, people. They have been hacked before. Anyways, we are getting off topic. So that's the purpose of stablecoin. You can be in the crypto sphere without actually using your government-owned bank. Now, in a lot of places, we take banks for granted, like in the US, but some countries are really limiting in how much money you can move around or what currency you can buy them from. In fact, in the United States, every transaction over $10,000 has to be vetted and approved by a bank. Meanwhile, using a stablecoin like USDC, you can move $10 million from one address to another without anyone blinking an eye for like a $5 fee. You could never do that with United States dollars.